It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Silence is a source of great strength. The great man is he who does not lose his child's heart. The purpose of life is to benefit others and oneself. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. A wise ruler does not reward people for what they have done, but encourages them to do even more. The wise are free from perplexities, the virtuous from anxiety, and the bold from fear. Universal love is the way to heaven. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon and star. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. To go too far is as bad as to fall short. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. When we are not able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. The best fighter is never angry. The softest things in the world to overcome the hardest things in the world. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loathing someone deeply gives you courage. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. Friendship is one mind into bodies. The path of duty lies in what is near, and man seeks for it in what is remote. Is it not a pleasure, having learned something, to try it out from time to time? Is it not a joy to have friends come from afar? Is it not gentlemanly not to take offense when others fail, to appreciate your abilities? He who attends to his greater self becomes a great man, and he who attends to his smaller self becomes a small man. The determined scholar and the man of virtue will not seek to live at the expense of injuring their virtue. They will even sacrifice their lives to preserve their virtue complete. The people are the most important element in a nation. The spirits of the land and grain are the next. The sovereign is the least. The wise man looks into space and does not regard the small as too little, nor the great as too much. Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. To regard the fundamental as the essence, to regard things as coarse, to regard accumulation as deficiency, and to dwell quietly alone with the spiritual and the intelligent. This is the way to daily increase. A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean. When joy and sorrow do, not disturb your spirit, and you are quiet and calm, then who can disturb you? When deeds and words are in accord, the whole world is transformed. In practicing benevolence, if love is lacking, one cannot achieve harmony. To love all people equally is to promote the well-being of the world. True virtue lies in promoting the common good. A harmonious society is built upon the foundation of mutual love and respect. In cultivating one's character, sincerity and frugality are essential virtues. To govern with morality is to lead by example and inspire righteousness. A just society is one that values fairness and equality for all. Human nature is evil, its goodness is the result of conscious activity. The person attempting to travel two roads at once will get nowhere. In learning, as in traveling, and of course in lovemaking, all the charm lies in not coming too quickly to the point, but in meandering around for a while. What the wise do in the beginning, fools do in the end. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master, for this reason mastery demands all of a person. When one is about to act on, who is responsible for the action ought to consider the whole world. If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand. The wise find pleasure in water, the virtuous find pleasure in hills. The wise are active, the virtuous are tranquil. The wise are joyful, the virtuous are long-lived. The ruler's authority is based on law, not on the unpredictable will of the people. A wise ruler does not rely on the advice of favorites, but on the strength of the law. Excessive kindness leads to chaos, and excessive severity leads to rebellion. To govern effectively, one must understand the nature of hidden desires and use them as a tool for control. A ruler must be vigilant and decisive, adapting to circumstances to maintain order. People act in their self-interest. It is the ruler's duty to align their interests with the state's stability. Words should be measured carefully, and actions should be consistent with one's principles. The noble-minded are clear about virtue, the small-minded are clear about profit. The way of the superior man may be found in its simple elements, in the intercourse of common men and women, but in its utmost reaches it exceeds the knowledge even of sages. When we see men of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. The superior man thinks always of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. In all things, success depends on previous preparation, and without such preparation there is sure to be failure. When we do not know a thing, we are not ashamed to confess our ignorance, but when we do not know a thing, and it is not. The joy of fish is in the water, the joy of birds is in the sky. Yet take away the water, and the fish cannot be harem of the sky, and the birds cannot fly. When we speak of things having an existence, we must recognize that an existence itself is merely a designation. Words are like nets. We hope they'll cover what we mean, but we know They can't possibly hold that much, your grief or wonder. The boundary between things is created by names. Remove names and all things are one. We are limited by the words we use, trapped in the distinctions created by language. Things are not always what they seem. Reality is shaped by our perceptions. The more you have sex, the less you want it. To understand the world, you must transcend the limitations of language and embrace a deeper, wordless understanding.